Friday night is smoking night, at least this week. This is a beautiful, beautiful day here, and I've got two big pork roasts. This one on this side is a Boston butt, or pork shoulder, sometimes called a pork shoulder, and this one is a picnic roast. So I'm going to do both of these on the Weber Smoky Mountain smoker and let them go through the night. I haven't decided if I'm going to wrap them or not. I think I might let them just go unwrapped through the cook. We will see. So I'm going to get the smoker going and get these opened up, seasoned, and let's get started. Now that the smoker's ready, I'm going to get the meat prepped. So this is the picnic roast here. I'm actually going to use, I'm not sure this will be enough seasoning to go on this one, so I may have to add a second option here. But I'm going to use, this is Meat Church Barbecue's Holy Voodoo barbecue seasoning. It's actually really good. I recommend it. It's a good one, especially on pork. And then the other one that I'm going to use is this Trim Tabs pig powder. It's also pretty good. I'll just pull these up closer so you can kind of get a look at those seasonings. Now this one here, the pig powder, it's not as it doesn't have as much heat. Like the Holy Voodoo is a little bit of a hotter. It's not hot, but it's a little bit more kick to the seasoning than this one does. This one doesn't really have any kick, so if you just really don't like any sort of spice or heat, this is a pretty good option. It's actually really flavorful, but doesn't have a lot of heat, so good choice. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Meat Church Holy Voodoo on one of these, and I'm going to do the pig powder on the other one. And if I run out, I may run out of the Holy Voodoo because I'm a little bit low in this one and I don't have another one just like it. If I run out, then I may finish it or put a double layer of this Cool Smoke. Also very good, but this one does have a little bit of heat. Good flavor, but it's packing a little bit more heat. So let's get this going. I'm gonna get these, both of these cut open and seasoned up, and then we'll put them on the smoker here in just a little bit. Okay, I've got the meat all seasoned up. This one is the pig powder. This is the Boston butt. I used the pig powder on that. This is the picnic roast, and I used the Holy Voodoo Meat Church Barbecue. It ended up lasting me the whole time, so I did not use the Cool Smoke because I didn't need it. So that's what I have. These are ready to go on the smoker. I'm going to use a mix of woods this time. I'm going to use mesquite and apple. So I've got a couple of small chunks of mesquite wood and then one apple chunk right here. This is what I want to use to smoke these with. The mesquite is kind of more of a strong bitter wood, obviously, and the apple's more of a sweet, a little more mild wood, and I think it'll be a good mix. So that's what I'm going to use on these. They're ready to go on the smoker right now, so let's do that. This one right here, it has a little bit of a sort of a flap hanging off. Ordinarily you would cut that right there and trim that up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. It doesn't really hurt anything. If it turns out terrible after it's cooked, we can always get rid of it. But it's pulled pork, it's pretty forgiving, so we might just leave it on there, and maybe we can just, shred it and blend it with the rest of them, and it'll be just fine. But all right, now it's time to close this lid and let everything kind of regulate. It's beeping at me because we've been doing things, but those are good to go for a little while. Once the temperature regulates, just clean up my mess here and monitor that, and that's going to cook throughout the night, and then we'll finish sometime tomorrow. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and I'm going to head to bed here in just a moment, but before I do, we got to check the fire and probably restock both the water pan and the charcoal. So let me bring you down here. Let's take a look at what we have in there. Didn't think you'd be able to see it, so brought a flashlight. Hopefully that helps. Definitely ready to be restocked. That would not last. That wouldn't last through the night. So gonna fill that up. The water pan, probably harder for you to tell. It's not that low. You can see, actually, I don't know if you can, but I can see drippings from the meat above dropping into that water pan. It almost looks like we're in a cave and we're watching like stalagmites dropping down, and so it's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna add some water just to make sure that we don't run dry through the night. And then I'm going to refill the charcoal down below. It looks like our wood chunks have mostly, yeah, it looks like they're mostly gone. There's a little bit left in there, but it's mostly gone. So probably I will add another couple of wood chunks, probably one mesquite and one apple, just to run us through the night, to keep the smoke going nice and strong. So that's my next step. And I don't have a good way to give proper lighting to kind of show that, but that's what I'm about to do. And then at that point, it should be good to go for the night. Right now, the food temperature is at 136 internal. I just stuck a probe in one of them this time. I assume they'll cook pretty similarly. So yeah, the pit is a little bit low. It's at like 208. I was really targeting a little higher than that, so I need to get that up a little bit more. Although actually I just opened it up, so that's probably why it probably dipped a little by opening it up. So yeah, 136 degrees internal. By morning, this will probably be well into the stall, and then we can kind of decide if we want to wrap it or not. Let's take a quick look at the meat itself. Since I'm here, it's looking good. The bark hasn't gotten very firm yet. It's still pretty moist on top, so it's looking good. I don't see any areas of real concern here. Overall, that looks pretty well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So get that closed up and bring you back up here. So yeah, so that's where we're gonna go from here. That's my next step, and then it'll probably be, unless something goes awry in the middle of the night, it'll be tomorrow morning sometime to kind of take the next step. Good morning, everybody. It's about 7:30 in the morning, and this has gone all night. The temperature, let's just take a look. 171 on the meat, the internal meat temperature. Let's take a quick peek at it. Oh yeah, coming a little closer. That's looking real good. You can see the coloring on it is nice. You can see right here where it's pulled back from the bone. There's the bone. That bark feels pretty good. Those are looking really, really, really good. All right, I believe I'm gonna need to refill the water pan some and the charcoal, but it's lasted pretty good through the night. I'm gonna see if you can get in here closer up and see the charcoal. That looks pretty good. Really, I would go for a while longer, but I'm gonna go ahead and refill it. I've got a few activities this morning, some soccer games and such, so I'm gonna get this kind of reset. I think, based on what I'm seeing here, I'm gonna leave this unwrapped for now and see if we can power through the stall. That bark is looking good. It doesn't look like it's drying out or burning, so I think for now we're gonna roll with it unwrapped. And so I'm just refilling some things here. Everything looks good, and we'll let it keep cooking. Our food temperature is about 184, so we're getting really close. Let's just take a quick look at these. That bark looks really nice. Starting to dry out a little bit, but still looking pretty good. So These have a little ways to go. It's getting close to noon. It's a little before noon. And like I said, 184 internal temp. So we need this to rise probably about 15 to 20 degrees, and then it'll be ready. So I think we're through the stall now. It's just a matter of letting it kind of continue to get up to temperature. And we'll start testing this in a little bit. I don't know, we probably got another couple hours or so before this gets where we want it. It is 4:30 in the afternoon, so I started these last night. And before I went to bed, I think it was maybe 8:30 in the evening, something like that. These have cooked all night, all day. They've been unwrapped the whole time. It is now 4:30. Temperature says 201 on the probe that I've had it at the whole time. We're going to open this up, see what it looks like. I think it's ready. And it has darkened a little bit. That looks pretty jiggly right in there. The bark is good. Looks real good. Let me grab a probe so I can kind of feel what it's doing. And I'll turn this on as well, and we can get an internal temperature read in a few places. I think I just hit the bone there. All right, so that one says 202, 203. Let's see what this one is reading. 206, so this one is a little hotter internal. Now that probe went in really nice. I'm going to try another angle. This one in the back is ready for sure. Yeah, that's going in really nicely. Let me check this one in a couple other spots. Yeah, these two are, they're both ready to come off. So that took a little bit longer than I had anticipated, and honestly, it might have been ready sooner than this. I got really busy with some projects this afternoon, and so it's entirely possible that these would have been ready to come off even, you know, an hour and a half ago. It's not going to hurt them to have gone a little bit longer. These pork roasts, the pork butts and things, they go really, really well. A lot of forgiveness. So you can be a little bit too long, a little bit underdone is harder, because if you're underdone, you're going to tell. And you want to get it just right, but you can have some variance and it not be the end of the world on these. So this is ready to go. 4:30. Let me swing this camera around and grab some platters so that I can get these off the smoker, and then they're going to rest for a little while, and they're going to be supper tonight. If you don't have one of these are really handy. They're called a buttula, and they're really for working with big pieces of meat like these Boston butts.